Welcome everybody to both sides of the conversation. I'm John Henry, Executive Director. Today is Tuesday, so you know what that means. This is our Hidden Gem segment. Y'all know we've had our programming changes. People been calling me, Mark. It is funny because all the time we was on here 4 years straight, every week, 3 times a week. I thought y'all got tired of seeing me, right? Now we switch up our programming twice a month. We're coming on and people like, man, where y'all at? We don't see y'all. So, hey, we here. Our programming changed. I know y'all not seeing us every week, like we was for the past 4 years. We're switching it out. We're doing more stuff behind the scene to help out in the community. Giving me a break, okay? I'm telling you, it's a hard job to keep a podcast going, recruiting guests, having conversation, keeping the voice excited to come back and ad-lib more with y'all. It's been a challenge, but hey, we got a lot of work to do. We're approaching the last summer holiday of the year. There's so many things that we have to get ready for as we head into this political season, as things heat up after the last Labor Day, and things are heating up pretty good out there. And it's a lot of things that we're going to have to address and deal with as community, as we all come to the voting booths in November to make our decision of what we're going to do. We got some serious decision making that we have to do this elected season. Not only the presidential race, there's a number of local and state races that are happening that are very important to our local process. So I hope folks are getting involved. I hope folks are being a part of that process. I hope that everyone engages this season when it comes to exercising your rights to do your civic duty. We will do our part here to get some folks to come on here and educate community about the voter process, the do's and don'ts, the rights and wrongs, as we're working to get them on to educate folks. There's a lot of misinformation out there that folks don't be clear on or don't know, and we want to make sure that our community get it. So we'll be reaching out to get those election folks on, tell folks where they can go to vote, how they can vote, and things of that nature. So it's been a while. I've been here. There's so many things. I don't know. The only thing about being gone for a long time, Mark, is I got a lot to talk about, right? I don't know where to go. My mind is spinning. I got a lot of things to talk about, but the voice is here. I got to acknowledge the voices here, brother Mark. It's been a couple of weeks. How you feeling, brother?
Well, Bishop, I'll be honest. One, community, glad to be back. Missed you guys. Good to see you as well, Bishop. But I've been busy myself, paying attention to everything that's going on. And I was actually just kind of commenting in the pre-show. We're at the end of August right now. We're getting ready to go into the last quarter of this year. And with everything from the election going on to just what I'm looking at globally, economically, because everybody can feel the impact, whether it's at the gas pump, the grocery store, everybody can feel what's happening to our money. And I'm just seeing some really big things that's happening around the world that are going to continue to impact us here in community. So really glad to have tonight's Hidden Gem. Because I think some of the things that she'll be sharing is actually very relevant and important to us being able to protect ourselves economically as best as we can. Because at the end of the day, if we don't have the financial resources to sustain ourselves, we truly are at the mercy of the system. So glad to be back.
Man, glad to have you. Yeah, tonight we playing Spade. We got an amazing Hidden Gem here. We have a potential other that's going to be joining here shortly. The traffic is mad out there. Okay, the weather is good. Folks are moving around, getting ready for this holiday weekend. But Mark, I'm going to do something different tonight because before I get and go through all of the news, it's a couple things that need to be brought up that I think is important. So I'm going to use the news time to kind of go over a couple things. And I want community to listen to me because I know y'all always listen to me. And I'm a little radical at times. I guess I'm a little radical too. But I got some things that I gotta talk about that's real, is impacting our community. So we know school has just kicked back in the session. A lot of folks are getting their young people back to school. I'm very disturbed, Mark, because we only a week into school, and the level of parents who've been telling me some issues that's going on with racism, racial comments to our young people is very disheartening. There's some issues that we got to address with as community, as well as our teachers and professionals. But there seems to be this issue with racial comments made to Black students and brown students. And we got to do something about it. We got to make sure that our families are engaged with our young people. Bullying in schools is real, is happening. A lot of folks have had a summertime of social media engagements and different things of that nature. And now school's back in session, and some young folks, aren't feeling so comfortable and safe about going to school, and then, the behaviors and some of the things that's going on. So I'm asking community parents to get involved. We got to talk to our young people. We have to let them know bullying is not okay. We have to let them know racial comments. And this is why I say I hold the adults to the highest accountability, because again, our babies mimic what they see from the adults and the leadership of the community. We have to do a better job on it. And it's really impacting young people. I'm hearing stories, and it's impacting families. And I think as adults, we have to do a better job of looking in the mirror this school year and find out a way how you can be an asset to conflict management with other parents whose children may be bullying your children or whatever, and not be the parents getting into it, right? We have to be able to show young people some example of how to deal with conflict, how to deal with difficulties if we really want to have successful young people. So I wanted to put that out there because I think that's huge for community. It's a big conversation that's happening, and a lot of people are starting to see the effects when we don't adult and we don't handle conflict well as adults. It's starting to roll over into our young people. So just wanted to put that out there. It is a long school year. Let's all do our part. I need our parents to get engaged. I get it. The days are long. They're going to be longer. Things is stressful. We still have to make sure that our young people are the priority, and they are our focus when it comes to this school year. So just wanted to put that out there. Maybe rub a few feathers, Mark, but I got to put that out there because we got to do something. And to all of our paraprofessionals and teachers out there, listen, pay attention. We cannot have kids feeling like when they come to class, their racial comments are happening and things are happening, these microaggressions in the classroom, and we're not doing anything. Protect our babies and be open and be mindful of what's going on in your classrooms. All right. The next thing I got to bring up, this week, Mark, has been an emotional week for me. I mean, so much loss is happening around me. 3 years ago, I went through like almost different family members, my mom, everybody just passing. It seems like another wave is coming. So a couple things I want to talk about this COVID. It is spreading here in California. We need folks to really pay attention. Okay, these numbers is real. People are being impacted. It's an early year that we're kicking off with more and more COVID cases. So everybody in the community, continue to do your part. Wash your hands, safe distance, do the things you can so that we can keep the spread of this COVID down in our communities. We don't want to be locked back up. I know folks don't want to be locked back up, but we all got to do our part because it is spreading. It's real, and I know some folks don't believe everything the news say, but it's spreading. I'm actually seeing folks coming into the medical facility, positive with COVID. So it's real. It is happening. And then the other thing, I spoke on it on social media. A coworker, good friend of mine, was killed by his ex-girlfriend. And, this issue of domestic violence is a conversation that we got to continue to keep having in community. I put out a post to community. We have to be aware. This is, it's tragic when anytime anyone life is taken, and we have to find a way as adults when our emotions is high and we're angry and we're upset and we feel all of the things we feel, that we keep our emotions in control. Because again, violence is unacceptable, male or female. But again, a tragic loss of life. And, a young lady is now, looking at maybe spending the rest of her life in jail. And sometimes it's like, is it worth it? You calm down the next day and it's like, what was I tripping off of, right? Same thing with road rage. We just got to slow down, community. We got to calm down. Everybody is very tense right now. This economic crisis is starting to push and press on everybody. Folks are having trouble getting jobs. I'm hearing folks out there that usually could just get a job are starting to slow down. The market's slowing down. The economy is slowing down. So I'm asking community, slow down, be a little patient. And when we find ourselves getting anxiety and we find ourselves emotionally high, let's try to find a way to level ourselves out and step away so that we make the right decision. Because again, domestic violence is not okay, especially when young people are witnessing it. We have to find a way as adults to find out how to communicate and how to do remove ourselves when we in high emotional states. So I just want to put that out there. I think that's more important than the news stories that's going around. We just gotta focus on those things. And then lastly, for our community, Mark, I gotta say this because you and I, we're very positive when it comes to our community. We all about uplifting our community. We all about being those narrative shift and change makers in our community. And I respect you, how you love and appreciate and show action to other Black folks. And I'm gonna just say this, as Black people, we have to do better, right? When we got opportunities, when things happen, folks giving us access to resources, giving us access to job opportunities, giving us access to whatever. We gotta handle those situations in a way that's beneficial to our community. So many times we fight for equity, we want opportunities, and then we get the opportunities and we don't deliver. And it's a hurtful thing when you go out your way to support people, do everything your people, stand for your people, and then your people don't deliver. And I think that's self-accountability that we all have to do. We cannot get comfortable and become foolish to think that when we get an opportunity, we could do what we want and not obey by what we have to do to keep those doors open, to keep those pathways for the next generation and for the next folks of our community. And, that's why I'm saying, people have these comments, you work for a job, whatever. If that's what you have to do it to the best of your ability, show up so that, again, those doors stay open for other folks in our community. So many doors get shut, and then our people are running and screaming, talking about the system and the people they doing.
Well, community, it seems like there's a technical issue. So we'll go ahead and okay, there you go. There you go. See, the internet.
The enemy is attacking me. Kick me out. You see that? That's how powerful it is. They know I'm keeping it real. But I just wanted to say that because I think sometimes we have to do the self-reflection in the mirror, right? We can't just always point the finger what everybody's doing to us and we're not being accountable for what we're doing to each other. We can no longer community, listen, we can no longer be the gatekeepers of each other. We can no longer be the oppressors of each other. Y'all will get me fired up today. Y'all want me to give a benediction in the beginning? I will give it. Okay. We cannot do this, community. We have to do better. We have to do better. And when these pathways and these trails of opportunities open, as you're passing through them, we have to leave them better than we found them. And that's just what it is. All right. I'm not going to go any further with it, but I just want to put it like that. And this weekend, as folks is traveling out, be safe, and get back because we all as community have work to do. With that being said, excuse me, Brother Mark, I'm going to turn it over to you to get us through these announcements and events, what's going on. Community, get out there and support the community events. Be seen, be heard. Be proactive and be intentional. Don't be reactive. We got work to do in our community. Let's go take us all. Brother Mark, take us out of here with it, brother.
All right, Bishop, I will go ahead and take over from here with the community announcements. And let's go ahead and jump in. Our first announcement is join Code Tenderloin's All-Star Job Readiness Program. Orientation will be August 30th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 55 Taylor Street. And also, it'll be an event on September 2nd through the 23rd. And also that one will be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 222 2nd Street at the LinkedIn headquarters. For more information, see the phone number below. Also join Code Tenderloin's Entrepreneur Info Session. Do you have a business plan? Interested in boosting economic mobility in the Tenderloin? Well, Friday, August 30th from 1 to 2:30 p.m., meet them at 55 Taylor Street and bring your business cards. Experience the 4th annual Recovery Day at Bodeker Park at 241 Eddy Street on September 6th from 12 to 3 p.m. for community service awards, food, and resources. Also, the Suicide Awareness Block Party. Join us at McKay's Corner in the Civic Center Plaza, September 7th from 1 to 5 p.m. There will be music by Tony, Little Kayla, and more. For more information, see the link and the phone number below. and explore car-free fun at the Western Addition Community Block Party. Join us on Golden Gate Avenue and Buchanan Street Mall Park, September 22nd from 12 to 5 p.m. There will be activities for the whole family. And celebrate the unveiling of Portrait of a Phenomenal Woman, honoring Dr. Maya Angelou on September 19th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the San Francisco Main Library at 100 Larkin Street. There will be remarks from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. by officials, and there will be the artist Lava Thomas and more. And the Heart of Richmond District Night Market. Join us for fun, food, and festivities at Clemens Street between 22nd and 25th Avenues on July 20th, August 17th, and September the 21st from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. It'll be a night to remember with family and friends. You don't want to miss out. And join City EMT's First Responders Career Pathways Fair on October 29th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Southeast Community Center, located at 1550 Evans Street. You can explore EMT, firefighter, nurse, and other careers. Register at the link below or contact Dr. Melody Downey Huff. And visit the Southeast Community Center Farmers Market Thursdays from 3 to 7 p.m. now through October 31st for fresh produce, baked goods, and community activities located at 1550 Evans Avenue. And join the SECC at Hungry Cafe from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. for the co-working, eatery, and social space at the Southeast Community Center. And the University of San Francisco's Community Counseling and Wellness Center offers 12 weeks of free therapy for San Francisco residents over 18 that are facing barriers to care. For more information, email the link below. And the Dreamkeeper Initiative's Senior Home Repair Program offers up to a $50,000 forgivable loan to low to moderate income seniors and or disabled homeowners in distressed San Francisco neighborhoods. For more information, see the link below. And the San Francisco Human Rights Commission holds regular bi-monthly meetings on the second and fourth Thursday of each month at 5 p.m. in the San Francisco City Hall Room 416. You can attend in person or via Zoom. And Fathers to Founders Child Support Clinics are every Tuesday and Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 232 6th Street in San Francisco. Come get guidance on child support debt, license holds, custody, and visitation rights. For more information or to make an appointment, see the phone number below on your screen. And the Dreamkeeper Initiative's Down Payment Assistance Loan Program offers up to a $500,000 loan for down payment assistance and up to $30,000 for closing costs. You can get connected with housing counselors, lenders, and realtors. For more details, see the link below. And join the Fathers to Founders for Fatherhood Reimagined Therapy group sessions every Tuesday from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Food is provided. For more information or to RSVP, see the number below on your screen. And APRI hosts youth workshops. There will be job referrals, resume building, skills, internships, networking, and community service hours. For more details, see the number below. And join Dad Politics weekly sessions hosted by Fathers to Founders. These sessions provide a safe space for Black fathers in San Francisco to engage in meaningful conversations, held every Friday from 6 to 7:30 p.m. at the Holy Stitch, located at 1059 Market Street. And the vaccination site for the COVID-19 boosters and monkeypox antiviral pill treatments. See the screen below for times and location. And visit the community living room for free breakfast and a grab-and-go lunch Monday through Friday at the City of Hope Cafe. For more details, see the link below. And visit the San Francisco Office of Financial Empowerment for free confidential one-on-one smart money coaching. Financial guidance is available in English and Spanish. Also available to anyone living and working in San Francisco. For more details, see the link and the phone number below. And be a mentor in San Francisco U.S. School District's Mentoring for Success. Sign up to volunteer as an individual or group mentor district-wide. Make an impact. Sign up at the link below. And join our show to promote your business, nonprofit, or community impact on Hidden Gems. Or you can also share your expertise on an Educational Thursday or be one of our panelists on a Sunday conversation. You can also keep up with both sides of the conversation's latest shows and community outreach events. Follow us on all social media platforms, and you can also subscribe to our newsletter at bsotc.org. And both sides of the conversation welcomes volunteers to join our mission to uplift and support the community. Make a positive impact. Become a volunteer today. Email us at hr@bsotc.org. And also, both sides of the conversation invite your support for our podcast and community engagement. Your generous contributions will greatly aid us in enhancing our programming. And that'll do it for our announcements. We do have an upcoming Educational Thursday on September 5th, where Miss Ladadra Stokes Roberts will be discussing mental health and life coaching. And our Sunday conversations will return in September. And I'll turn it back over to you, Bishop.
Yeah, we got to do that. Hey, we made it. It took a little while. But we got to get through these community announcement. Community is very important. The biggest thing when we talk about what we do here at both sides of the conversation is to break that communication gap, right? Folks are always talking about, John, I don't know where the events is. I don't know how to connect to the resources. We try to make sure you guys know where to connect, how to connect, and how to get access to the services. We'll be having some folks coming on to talk about some employment opportunities, some pop-up hiring events that's going to be taking place. So looking forward to that. Brother Mark, I'll let you wet your whistle a little bit. We got an entrepreneur here. We have a mover and a shaker. When we talk about the economics, when we talk about the financial impact that's going on right now, we talk about leveraging and understanding what's going on. We have a phenomenal sister here that's going to talk about her tax business. So with no further ado, Brother Mark, can you give this young sister an introduction so we can bring her up here to the people?
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure, Bishop. We'll get to meet Ms. Keisha Dennis, who is a trailblazing serial entrepreneur committed to revolutionizing financial literacy for women. Her journey began in Oakland, California, witnessing economic struggles that ignited her passion for leadership and entrepreneurship. Transitioning from corporate success, Keisha ventured into finance, founding ventures in coaching and spirituality. She established Upscale Tax Professionals as an educational platform supporting entrepreneurs with vital services for financial triumph. And her latest project, Lady Buzz Conversations That Create Movement, empowers entrepreneurs through vibrant discussions and networking. Keisha's captivating financial literacy books for children sow the seeds of wisdom, transforming family legacies and experiencing her empowering journey for lasting success and reshape your financial trajectory today. With no further ado, let us bring to the stage Ms. Keisha. Come
on, Keisha. You hear both sides now. We got to hear about this amazing stuff you're doing. Talk to the people. Tell us what you got going on. You're a serial entrepreneur. When I hear this serial entrepreneur, I just think you got your hands in everything. Okay. I just feel like your hands in everything. I know you're doing a lot. Go ahead and talk to the people. Let them know what you got going on and how we can support.
Hello, everyone. I am Keisha Dennis. I am the founder of Upscale Tax Professionals, and we teach people how to avoid paying 60% of your lifetime income in taxes. And we help you with tax strategies, tax planning, tax resolution. We provide free tax audits, which means that we'll look over your previous year's taxes and see if your CPA or your tax advisor is advising you correctly. And we help you set up for generational wealth.
Wow, that's real important stuff there. You know, when we talk about setting up generational wealth, now that's a topic that I'm always hitting on and yelling at folks in the community about how do we leave legacies and how do we prepare for things. When you're going through this process to set people up, right? Give them information about taxes before you even get to the taxes. Do you guys even talk about like how folks are setting up their W-2s and W-4s and things of that nature? Because I know a lot of times in the community, folks really don't be understanding how to do their W-4s when they go to employment and jobs, right? And maybe they're not taking out enough taxes, or maybe, you know, different things that can impact them from child support or whatever. But I know that's an issue because a lot of folks talk about it, and you know, sometimes you go to your HR or folks that handle those type of information to try to help you don't always have the answer for you. So is that something that aligned to what the taxes is, making sure that stuff is part of your tax solutions?
We definitely do help our clients with their W-4s, their W-9s. We assist them step by step. We do offer free 5-minute tax talk. So if you just have a quick question, then you can give us a call or you can set up an appointment. Other than that, if you want a full on primary financial checkup, then that would be a tax consultation. And that's where we'll do an overview of your books and everything that I was telling you about earlier, just to make sure you're setting up everything correctly.
Now, it's upscale just for women because I know you in the bio you talked about supporting women. I need to know because I don't want my fellas out there. What am I
I
watching?
support my brothers 100%. I love my brothers. Yes. I
Okay.
have a lot of male clients and a lot of lucrative male clients, and it's really, really nice when I have married couples because I like to talk to them together, because sometimes husband will come home and say the wrong thing, or wife will come home and then we not all on the same page. So it's very important to have my brothers right there.
Man, very important. You know, while we talking about financial literacy, you know, there's this curve of like everybody's talking about financial literacy, and then it's actually applying the financial literacy. You know, so many parts of the country, states have removed, you know, banking, accounting out of the schools, right? You know, when I came up, we had those things, and now we don't. Here in California, they're starting to force schools, and they're bringing it back to teach financial literacy. You know, the gap in wealth. When we talk about wealth building, we talk about legacy building. Typically, when you look in most minority areas, we are at the bottom of the list when it comes to estate planning, when it comes to insurance and things of that nature. And it's terrible. So when you're putting this program together, working through getting folks educated, what's your process of how you talk to folks about money and how to remove themselves from debt? You know, right now, debt is like the new slavery all across this country. Folks are in credit card debt. I mean, folks are being pinched right now more than ever just because inflation, the economic downfall that we're seeing, the loss of GDP in our communities. How do we and what you have planned, right, to get people to buy in, and how important it is to have emergency funds and how to get out of debt and have, you know, college, you know, everything is kind of transitioning right now. So how to upscale, get folks energized, and how do you get that information in a way that folks in the community can pick it up, grab it, and run with it?
Well, first, what we have to do is we have to remove the virus that's in everybody's mind. And that's helping people unlearn what they've already learned, because finances is like a different language to a lot of people, especially a lot of people in our community, because we weren't taught. And the impact that generation has on us. We saw our parents live from paycheck to paycheck. We saw our grandparents. So now a lot of the people of my generation are trying to figure it out as well. And with inflation and everything else, they sure aren't making it easy. And so what I have to do is I have to tell people that America is a business and you have to think of yourself as a business. So the first thing you need to do is secure insurance on yourself and your family, because we have insurance on our cars, but you are your biggest asset for your family. So why would you not have insurance on yourself? You know, we all come to parties and events, fly, hair done, nails done. And if we took away one time of going to the nail shop, one time a month, we would have enough to pay for insurances. So those are the things that I have to help people understand, is to get out of a poverty mindset. You know, the dollar in our community only lasts 6 hours in our hands. We're already spending it before we even get it. But if you look at the Asian community, the Jewish community, the white community, they all hold on to money much longer and they generate it within their communities. And we lack trust in each other. And that's a big thing. You know, everybody's in this rat race and everybody has to be reprogrammed to know we are not each other's enemy. You know, like you were talking about earlier, John, you touched on some very major points. And it's the mindset and knowing that money is related to your emotions. You know, people get upset when they don't have any money. So you have people out here under stress, no money. It's a lot going on. So the support that is needed is within our community, but we lack trust.
Yeah, I mean, it's the hardest thing. And I mean, I think you hit the nail right on the coffin, right? How do we unlearn um, these behaviors, right? Because I think money is a behavior, right? Whether it's emotion, stress, we have to unlearn this stuff and reteach our community. And it is a shame that we can't circulate dollars. And, it's hard to understand it and put into concept when we are the largest spenders. When you look at the Black community, we spend more money than any other culture, but we don't circulate dollars in our community. I mean, and we know um, a lot of times there's systems and things in place to keep the community from thriving. But even with that, I just feel like some of our elders in the past and some of the folks who fought, they figured out a way. And it's something with this generation, these young people, and even our elders, coming together, passing the torch, right? Making sure that the next generation understands money. And these conversations need to happen. And a lot of it is poor learned behavior. We watch our families and our parents, they can't budget money. The culture, right? That plays a part into it. The music, hey, spend it. If I lose it all, I get it again. And we're not looking about sustainability. And I find that so many areas in the Black community that we're never planning for sustainability. It's just right now, it is what it is. And I think that's the thing that we have to unlearn in our culture if we really want to advance with finance in the future. When we talk about taxes, having our taxes prepared right, having them understood and monitored. A lot of the wealth that we've lost in our community, from entertainers to movies to just normal people, has been because we haven't had a good tax repair plan, right? So the money tends to leave our community when we don't put estate planning in place. Probate court and lawyers and sharks take our wealth. And again, we could point at all of the systems in place and all the things that take place to help cause that harm. But it's back to us. Like, when do we take accountability? When do we look up Keisha and say, hey, Keisha has upscale tax services, instead of me, figuring this out, guessing or trying to wing it? Let me go see the right person that can help me and guide me to financial success.
I think a lot of people feel like, with the poverty mindset, it's the pricing, it's the accountability. Like you said, a lot of people want to go where it's cheaper, but they're not getting the financial education that they are supposed to have. It's really unfortunate because of the poverty mindset. And that's why I help rewire people's brains. Like, you have to know how to look at things. Wealthy people, they look at the return on their investment. A lot of our people look at the price of the investment. And go ahead, John.
I gotta jump in there because see, I'm talking to a vast variety of community, and I can't let you off the hook, Keisha. You got to tell me what that look like, right? When you talk about the poverty mindset, you got to spell it out, because some people might not think they have the poverty mindset. So what does that look like? When you say we have to relieve ourselves of this poverty mindset, what does that look like to Keisha when you say this? Because I want somebody out there that don't know. Maybe they don't know. They might have the poverty mindset. I need to educate my community. Tell me what it is.
So basically, if you are coming to see me and you're getting, say, tax preparation, let's just say that, and say I charge $500 for tax preparation. Say H&R Block charges $300 for tax preparation. A lot of people are going to rush to H&R Block. However, H&R Block is not going to educate you. They're not going to show you the thousands that you're missing out on. They're not going to teach you how to get a bigger return on your tax return. They're just going to plug in those numbers and you save $200. Wealthy people, they're going to say, Keisha is going to provide information. She's going to help me with some tax strategies for the future. This will last me a lifetime. And in the long run, I'm going to earn tens of thousands and more dollars with Keisha than I would with H&R Block. That's the difference between a poverty mindset and a wealthy mindset.
All right, now I'm gonna give you that surface area, Keisha. Okay, I'm gonna be nice to you. I'm gonna give you that surface area because I'm looking for something a little deeper for my community, right? I'm talking about assets versus liability, how we spend money, right?
Hey,
how we do the things that we do. That's what I was trying to get to, because we have to first deal with that. We have to understand what is an asset and what is a liability. What is
a liability is going to buy the new Jordans. An asset is buying stock in Nike.
Yeah, now you're where I want to be. Go ahead, brother Mark. I see you trying to jump in there. Go ahead, brother.
Well, I wanted to address that specific question because this is one of the things that I'm having conversations with what I deal with now, because I'm in precious metals and I'm dealing with high-end clients who are trying to protect their net worth from inflation. And as of this past week, gold hit an all-time new record price at a little over $2,500 for an ounce of gold. So I'm talking to people who were buying gold 10 years ago when it was, $600-700 an ounce. And that money that they spent or that they invested then has grown over time because gold is a real asset. Whereas the money we get, the paper dollar that we have, is subject to lose its purchasing power over time. So anybody right now who has some discretionary income to invest, a wise investment would be something like gold, because over time it holds value and you can always convert it back to dollars. But if you're only thinking about having a good time and looking fly, you're only thinking of buying gold jewelry. So that's an example of what Miss Keisha was just pointing out, just for the community.
Yeah, I just wanted to give her something. I had to make sure I let my community know. But I agree with you, Mark, right now with the economic crisis that's going on, for all the folks that don't understand investing in stocks right now, commodities is where you want to put your money at. Defense, we're looking at another war. Definitely those commodities, because as things become harder to obtain, those things that we need become valuable, right? And gold is a barter.
Definitely need that.
The dollar is fading, okay? And if y'all ain't paying attention, okay, because I'm educating y'all know every time I come over, I might talk smack. I'm educating y'all. There's a shift that is about to happen with the Treasury here in the United States as they convert us over into digital currency. It's already happening. You don't even understand. We just think it's going to wake up and happen overnight. It's already happening as they slowly fade out the dollar bills, going to more digital debit cards and things of that nature. More and more things are going debit. cardless and all. I mean, all that stuff. So it's already happening. So we got to educate our community. That's why it's important to have Keisha here to talk about tax advantage, how we prepare, right? Because I think that's where it all starts. I always tell y'all, it's the prevention and the intentionality. We don't want to just react. A lot of times stuff happening in our community is reacting to what's happening. We have to get in front of it. We have to shift our mindset and our thinking about everything that we're doing, because we don't want to be the reacting to the change, right? As change is happening, we have to steady weave ourselves in there. And I think it's so important that we have folks like Keisha and other community folks to come in here and give us a head start. Because typically what happens is we don't get a Keisha to come in and educate our community about what we need to be doing. We find out through mistakes, our losses, our painful financial decisions. So we got to stick to that. And we always hear both sides of the conversation about preventive and intentionality. Y'all know that. I don't want to react. I don't want to do intervention. It's too late at that point. I'm trying to get you to think early and ahead of time. Go ahead, Sister Keisha.
It's either take care of your business or your business going to take care of you. You know, the same way that you said preventative measures. We brush our teeth so we don't get cavities. You know, we make sure we go get our physicals to make sure that we're staying on top of our health. So why do we not get financial checkups and make sure our finances are healthy? And that's where the issue is. We have to rewire our way of thinking. You know, simple interest and compounded interest, those are two different things. And what Mark was talking about is compounding interest. Simple interest is not going to get you any money. That's the banks. You're not making no money in the bank unless it's a high yielding savings account. Other than that, you're not really making that much money. But in gold, you'll make money over the long run. In IULs, you know, index universal life, you know, you'll get money there. Annuities, you'll get compounding interest there. And the difference between simple interest and compounding interest, I would advise everyone to look up the Rule of 72 by Albert Einstein, because that's going to teach you about compounding interest. You're going to get money back on the money that you've invested plus the interest, whereas simple interest, you only get back money on the money you've put in. You don't get money back on the interest. So it's a lot that goes into financial literacy, but once you have it, you got it. You'll start speaking that language and you'll see your life change. You'll see your finances change. And it's just a good feeling. And you'll see people around you change too.
Yeah, that'd be bad too. We saving some dollars. And I think one of the reasons that you didn't talk, well, you brought it up, but I think part of the problem is the reason why folks aren't doing anything about it because it's not seen, right? It's hidden, right? Your debt, everybody can't see. You know, social media, everybody can see. You walk around with your outfit on, everybody can see. So that's why we put our priorities there, right? We brush our teeth because our smile is the first thing people see. But when it comes to debt and finances, what people don't see. So because they can't see it, to say something about it, it's less likely for us to take accountability and deal with it. So this is why sometimes our folks get caught in more and more debt because it's a difficult conversation, right? And this is why it's important for you to come here tonight. It's important that we continue to have these conversations as community, because in the Black community, it's taboo. It's taboo community to talk about finances and mental health, right? It's the stigma that's tied to that. Right. I don't want nobody to know I'm in debt. I don't want nobody to know I got credit card debt. I don't want nobody to know I'm messing up. Right. So, you know, this is why we get into these things, and it's important to have vulnerability. And this is why I always love when people come in here and talk the truth about the struggles that they went through, the debt that they clammed out of. Those success stories is always the motivation factors for folks, but it takes time and patience. I tell folks, you put yourself in debt in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and they expect to fix their debt in 1 year. And it takes time, just as much time you got it to get out. The hope is tonight, you leverage this information. You utilize a person like Keisha to say, hey, this is what I'm at. I want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing so I can get more than HR Block is giving me. I want to set up my stuff so that I can make sure that I'm maximizing the most of my income and not giving it to the government to invest, but I'm taking this home, right? So with those tax preparers and tax professionals, you get that opportunity, that understanding, so you can have the right numbers that you need to put on your W-9 and W-4 so that you can keep more of your money instead of giving it to the government to invest and make money off of and still charging penalties and things of that. So I think that's, you know, a very, very important thing, you know, having these classes and coaching folks is a good thing. And I appreciate all the folks who are doing coaching and stuff. And I always tell folks who are coaching, I'm not a coach. I say, I'm not a coach, right? We have to make sure that what we're coaching, we're living and doing too, right? Because it's hard. It's like going to the gym. You got some physical trainer telling you to do this. And you like, you 300 pounds, man. How you going to tell me? I'm not going to believe it, right? So, as in coaching, it's the same thing. You have to be at a point where you're living it, you're doing it, and you're making the right decision. It's hard to be a coach and tell folks to save money, and you just out there doing anything. They're like, well, you could have bought a lunch today, right? So we got to set the example, and we have to give our people real life experience because we are the culture of show me. You must show me before I believe. And when you're coming there saying, hey, I could have ate out at McDonald's today, but I bought a salad from home to save, so I didn't pay $20 and all of this, right? So I just think it's more of that live, learned experience, being intentional, and making sure that we have the things that we need to impact the community. But as we get into the other serial entrepreneur things you do, because you have a wide variety of things, what are some of the other things you want to let community know, some of your other adventures, how it impacts community, or how can people in the community connect and learn more about some of the other adventures that you have going on?
So one of the things that I have is I have a series of children's books that teach children ages 9 through 17 about the ABCs of financial literacy. And I also have journals because I know that when people are going through this, it's a heck of a process. I had tissue on my desk for people because I had a lot of people crying. When you have to be vulnerable with your finances, that's a tough thing. A lot of people do not want to show you what their finances really look like. And I've helped people, come back from things that they didn't even dream that they'd come back from, like hundreds of thousands in debt. And there is a way, but there is a process, and it's a very meticulous, tedious process, and it's not always fun. But we've had children, we've dealt with death, we've dealt with a lot of other things, so we could deal with our finances. Look at you, John, you coming back from a lot of stuff. That's like the strength and the resilience that we have. We can do anything that we set our minds to. And I know, Mark, you were talking about that gold, is really up there, but melanin is the most expensive out there. Okay. we have the most power. We have the most insight, and we're tapped in. We just have to look within and get there. It's not easy, but with my assistance, with you guys' assistance, and with more of these podcasts, we're going to be able to help a lot of people. So I commend what you guys are doing. It's not an easy conversation.
Yeah. What are some of the strategies? I can't even speak right now. Look at this. What are the strategies? See, I got to slow down too. What are some of the strategies that you could give to people who may be like struggling right now? Maybe money is tight. I go to work, my paycheck go to all my bills, and I don't have any extra. Like, what are some of the strategies that they can use to utilize your services to help them out? Because some folks don't have that extra cash to invest and do stuff. Sometimes they go into H&R Block because that's what they can afford, or whatever. But what is it that a person could do in that situation?
Well, the thing about my company is that we take the funds out of your return. So it's not like you have to have those funds up front unless you owe. If you owe the IRS, then you do have to pay up front because we don't have anywhere to get the money from. So that's one option. If you save a certain amount per week, we also have payment plans. So we make it as easy as possible for our clients to make sure that we're getting that education out there. We are really here for the people. So if you tell us about a situation, we will help you in any way that we can.
And we have a question up there. What's the standard or ideal breakdown of how people should be using their money, like in percentages of expenses, 20%, 30%, saving, 10% investment? What does that look like?
What is the standard ideal breakdown of how people should be using their money?
So I'm gonna say this: I want my people out there taking at least 15%, trying to get 12 to 15% of their gross income going into retirement and investment. We got too many folks who are retiring, don't have enough money. So if anything, how you use your money, take 10%, pay yourself. I want to see 10 to 12%, 15% going into your mutual fund, 401k, whatever retirement you have, that you can put up some money for the future. I want you to also talk to your 401k people and your folks that are handling your investments to make sure that 75 to 80% of your investment is in index funded accounts. Be careful of the mutual funds. All right. So that's what I would say. The way you break down everything else, make sure you saving for the future. Too many folks are getting to retirement age and can't make it. So invest now, invest early. Try to get 12 to 15% of your gross income going into some type of retirement, a Roth, something where you can benefit when you retire. So I'm gonna just say that, but I'll let you the professional.
That was very good advice. I know that there is a standard out there. I say that if you can save 40% of what you're making, that's much better than 30. But the way that you save it is not just putting it in a bank. You're going to save it in a way that you make it work for you. The same way John was saying, in an IUL or something with compounding interest. We know that now expenses are probably at about 60%. So unfortunately, we can't do 30%, but do your best. That's what I say, because the numbers that are out there now, they don't apply to majority of the world at all. Now, if you're a wealthy person, of course you could stick by those standards, but most people are not in the 1%. So I would say if you could, even at this point in your life, if you could save 15%, like John was saying, you're doing dang good. You're doing better than a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, I always bring this up because I think about child support, and I'm working with these legislative people here in San Francisco, trying to change some of that. I mean, in California, change some of this stuff. And, I tell people, once a man give up 25, 30% of his income to his children, no matter how many he have, and if you saying here today that is about 60% is where the expenses, how do you survive? How do you make it? Right. And this is why it's so important about decision making, what we doing, and think about where we at as in the economy and how these decisions impact us as a community.
One way to help a lot of fathers avoid paying high fees in child support is I advise those parents that I have, those fathers, to start a company on the side. Once they start a company on the side, they're working, but they're also starting their company. As that company starts picking up money, I have them only pay themselves a certain amount. Once they're able to transition from a job to their own company and they form their business entity the right way, then they can avoid paying a lot of money.
You see what I'm saying? So there you guys have it. Fellas, you got some game tonight. We gave you some sauce. We gave you some sauce tonight. Look, see, she's giving you both sides of the conversation. I'm giving you one side, she's giving you another side.
I told you I love my brothers. I told you.
I think it's important. It's one of the questions was, do you do business taxes for LLCs, nonprofits? Are you a tax preparer for those as well?
Yes. And I do corporations, so regular corporations, S Corps, LLCs, so proprietorships, nonprofits, and some foreign taxes.
So you got to break it down now and hook some of the people up since you're giving out free game night. What's the difference between the LLC, S Corp, and C Corp? What's the tax benefits? Come on, you the tax professional. Give it to me.
So the self-employment tax adds an additional 15.3%. So if you can eliminate that and have a corporation, that's better. But, it all depends on how much money you're making, if you have employees, and everything is individualized. So it all depends, what you're trying to do with the company and how fast it's growing and how much you're making.
So you didn't know I was that fast. I'm gonna tell you, like, oh, John kind of shy. Yeah,
I already knew.
I got some brains up inside of this little tip of mine. I just play a fool. Okay, they see me screaming,
I hear you.
acting crazy,
You
but
speaking my language
behind here. It's some experience behind it. I've been through some things. I always tell people, yeah, I got the game for you. I'm gonna give y'all the sauce. All right, I've been trying to give them the sauce. For the last 30 years, the last 4 years of this organization, I've been trying to give the game to my community. Sometimes they appreciate it, sometimes they don't. But I just tell them, hey, I'm gonna give it to you. It's your job to go find it and go do it. This is why we do it on this platform. You can always go back and watch any of our previous shows or Educational Thursdays and get the gems if you really want it. It's sauce there. And I always tell people, go and get the sauce. Tonight, we got Keisha here getting all your tax stuff ready. We're getting close to that season. We're not there yet, but we're getting to that third quarter, fourth quarter, closing out the year. A lot of folks is going to be looking for stuff. And I know a lot of that information ain't going to be available until next year. But again, this is why I say your civic duty is important. There's some changes that's going to be happening when it comes to taxes. How much is coming out of your check is going to change. How much is coming out of your overall taxes, what you're going to owe. This election season is going to dictate a lot of that. So make sure you understand so that you can make the right decision. It's not about the party. It's about what is the best decision that's going to impact you and your family as you continue to build financial literacy, legacy, and all of the things that you need to protect your asset and make sure that your kids that you work so hard for, grandbabies, get access to that wealth and they get it a little easier than we had it. And that's what it's all about. So, I'm
John,
Go ahead.
A lot of people think that taxes are not in season right now, but this is revving up my busiest time of the year, actually, opposed to, when taxes are actually being processed in the beginning of the year. This is one of the busiest times because all of my tax planning clients, all of my tax resolution clients, and all of my clients who filed extensions are all rushing in. So the months of September and October are super duper busy.
So, I think that's important and just really talking about how folks utilize different things to leverage their taxes. When you talk about income property, all of these things are going to be changing, right? How do you use rental property? How do you use your vehicle when you drive for Uber and Lyft? A lot of these tax policies are going to be impacted by this election. So folks, get out there and do your civic duty. With that being said, Brother Mark, you got anything? I know your brain is moving over there. You got anything for the Queen?
Well, I just wanted to ask one small thing because she touched on something. When we're talking about money, this is a very difficult conversation for a lot of people because it is painful being vulnerable. And I'd like to leave the community with just a highlight, Miss Keisha, because I know in all your years of helping people that there have been some people whose lives you have changed dramatically through your services. If you could just tell a quick story of a highlight or something that stands out to you about why you do what you do.
Okay, so I'll tell you why I got started, and then I'll tell you the highlight. I got started because my mom was making over $250,000 a year as a registered nurse, and they took her job away from her. She was getting older, so they get rid of the older ones sometimes because they're making the most money, and the new grads, they get to pay them a little less. Well, within 8 months, my mom was homeless, and all of her savings wiped out because she was trying to maintain bills but was not bringing in any revenue. So that scared me because I had done the nursing program and I was headed in the same direction. So I pivoted and came into finances, and that's how I got here. But I wasn't able to help my mom, but I'm helping as many other people as I can because the statute of limitation on my mom is pretty much over. So I can't really do much there. But with my clients, I have a kind of personal, relation to people who owe a lot of money in taxes. I don't like it. I don't like how they slap on compounding interest. And I had a particular client who came to me $50,000 in debt. And he did not know how he was going to get out of debt. And I told him if I worked with him for 3 to 5 years, that I would have him completely out of debt and he would be getting a return. This will be the first tax season. He filed an extension, so I'm waiting on the information right now so I can file him. But this will be the first year that he actually gets a refund. And we've been working together for 4 years. So it feels good when I have stories like that, you know, and it just, it makes me feel like I got a little piece of, you know, helping my mom back.
Thank you, Queen.
See, Keisha, you got off. I've been letting you off easy all night, Keisha. I've been letting you off all night, easy. I thought you was gonna come hit with some real hard pat. You know, you a saleswoman. I thought you was gonna come with the, you know, I got in this, Brother Mark, because, you know, I see the statistics and they say that 2053 black folks is gonna be poor with no money. I thought you was gonna come with that. I let you off.
That one too. See, I told you that before the show.
Right. That's why I was looking for you to bring that, because I think that's important, especially to the black and brown community.
But that's not why I got started.
I get it, but I was trying to give you an alley hoop into it. That's all. You missed the alley hoop.
But that is another thing, John. That's another thing. They did say that the black wealth would be extinct by 2053. And so that fueled my passion that I already had. You know, I've been at every networking event that I could go to, teaching people that we have to do better with our finances. And so, yeah, that is what really got my fire going. You are right.
Yeah, because I was going to scold people after you told your mother's story. And I appreciate you telling that, because we have to be vulnerable to let our folks know, not to scare them. But this is the reality when we don't handle our business. But I'll go tell all the ladies out there, all of the Chanel bags, all of the Herman bags, all of the Gucci. Okay, you got to think about what's the asset and the liability. Y'all out there buying all of this Gucci, Louis, and Prada, and then you don't have the financial savings and things that you need to get out of jam. Tonight is the night. Fix that, ladies. Okay, because at the end of the day, you can't take the purse back and get what it was valued for. Maybe some you can. I don't know. But it's time to do the right thing. When we talk about finances in our community, we have to uplift finances to the top of the level, right under mental health, right? Because I always say mental health is number 1 in our community. Finance and education is 2 and 3. And I would say education. The reason why I say education is 3, because I know we have money is easier to learn. When you don't have money, it's harder to learn. So I put them together, 2 and 3. I just say 2 and 3, but we put them together. But we got to fix the mental health in our community. Because when we fix mental health, we can learn, we can grow, and we can utilize our resources to better our lives, our community, and leave generational wealth and legacy to our family. So it's been a good minute here, Keisha. Is there anything that you want to talk about before we get out of here? Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to? Is there anybody because I don't want you to come on here and leave and somebody say, well, Keisha, you know, I was there when you wasn't the tax guru. I was there when you was getting started. I want you to leave those people out. And then if you want to leave some parting words to the community before we get you out. And I don't know where my other hidden gems was at tonight. I got to call them and give them some toolage tonight. Go ahead, sister.
Well, I would like to thank Miss Tavita, who has a question down there, for sending me you guys' information. And I'll answer your question real quick, Tavita. The AI industry is booming. If you can get into it, get into it. Anything tech, get into that. A lot of money there. I have clients making over $700,000 in that industry. So yeah. And also Lady Buzz Conversations That Create Movement. That is my nonprofit. We have a lot of workshops, courses, and things of that nature where we help women. It's weird that you were talking about domestic violence, because we actually help a lot of domestic violence survivors. And also I have another company. It's my baby. She's just getting started, called Etiquette Empress, where we're teaching a lot of our women how to step into their divine feminine so that they can release the masculinity. I know that it's very difficult for us as women who have had to carry so much on our backs, but there's a way to do everything.
I gotta get you coming up. See, I knew it was something going on tonight. I knew it, Mark. I don't know. Something's fine out here. We're not letting her out here easy.
Yes, there is a way to do everything graceful, ladies. You know, you do not have to be so defensive. And we should operate out of love in everything that we do, even in our frustration. No matter what we are going through, we need to do it gracefully. That's the way that we were intended to live. And you catch more bees with honey. You know, you got to be a honey.
I'm glad you said I'm blowing up this month tonight. And y'all didn't hear it from the bishop. I didn't have anything to do with it. You know, the ladies always try to get me to get around them. Hey, you know what? We're going to have a relationship conversation. It's coming up because I think it's time. Folks is waiting. They like, John, we got to get you in on these conversations. Keisha, we will call you back and get you on this relationship conversation. I think you got a great
come.
It's a lot of dominance going on out there. It's a lot of masculine energy from our women. We need some soft women. We going up this front. I think we need some soft women. Let me stop. See, and then we throwing rocks at my car now. I already got people. I just picked up some more rocks. Thanks to Keisha. They coming after me. All right. But before we let you go, Keisha, you started the fire there. I don't know what's going on. Mark, this shot's fired, Mark. I don't know. It's about to go down. My phone's about to be blowing up now. Oh, you got something to say. It's going down. You know, we thank you for coming here and bringing this information to our community. It's so important that we break the taboo, we break the stigma and have these conversations, you know, and we've done our part here at both sides of the conversation to continue to bring folks like you to have the discussion, to open up the discussion and talk about it so that it is comfortable for our community. The best thing about this platform is even if someone is embarrassed or someone is, don't want to open up and reveal what they're dealing with, they get to watch this in the privacy of their home. So that information is so important. We put your information on the screen. Community, upscaletaxprofessional.com. Check her out. Check out our nonprofit. Check out the stuff. You need some questions. You need some help. It's always great to reach out. And that's what we try to do here. Just leave a resource. It might not be me. It might not be Mark. But Keisha, you might be the one tonight that somebody needs to talk to and they feel comfortable to come tell their story. Maybe there's a nurse out there going through the same thing. They're like, you know what, I need to ask her now. But we must confront the things financially that impact us so that we can cut that debt tie, cut that anchor, and find a way so we can start moving again. There is hope on the other side of that financial rainbow. We could get there. There's no lucky charm. There's no gold. But there's an opportunity for us to relieve debt, live a better life because, again, finances cause the mental health and stress, the emotional part that impacts us the most. And we don't want to just hear women out talking about their emotionally shopping, okay? When they be out there emotionally shopping, putting themselves in debt, we want you to be able to be emotionally in control and understand your finances and make those right decisions. We want to move you away from the wants and keep you in the area of the needs. The needs is not the Birkin bags. It's not the red bottoms. It's not the Gucci bags, okay? It's not going to Dubai. It's making sure you have a legacy and you invested your money in a way that it can bring back a positive return through compound interest, through other mechanisms that will bring you the financial freedom that you need. So, with that being said, it's been a good one. I don't know where my other hidden gems at. I'm going to find them. I don't know where they at. But Keisha, we thank you for being here. Is there any parting words you want to give to the community before you log off? If you want to give some words of advice, maybe you want to give affirmations. Maybe you want to give some uplifting words. I don't know. It's sad out here in America right now. We need something. Uplift us before you leave tonight.
I would just like to let everyone know that you are not alone. I have been homeless. I have been on the system. I have been through a lot of things that everyone else has been through. So I can only give you these gems because I collected them along the way. So it's my intention to make sure I pass them along so that you guys can help other people and you can break generational curses. You do not have to try to figure out why you are living paycheck to paycheck. Come to me and let me help you figure it out. I want you guys to give me your stress so you don't have to stress about the finances.
Well, there you have it, community. Thank you, Miss Keisha, for coming on tonight. Blessing the community, coming to give us some of that game. We need it. We thank you for coming. we'll definitely share your information out. If you have any flyers or information that you want to give, if you're having a webinar or some kind of event, please send it over to us here at Both Sides of the Conversation. We'll help submit it to all of our social media handles and make sure folks get an opportunity to sign up and get some more of that sauce that you have. I'm sure you go in more depth in your presentation that helps folks. And, that's all we can ask for. So thank you for giving up your time, coming here tonight, being a part of Both Sides of the Conversation, blessing our community with your information. There you all have it. Upscale tax preparators, professionals. Go get the professionals to do your taxes this tax season. With that being said, thank you, Ms. Keisha. We'll see you soon, and we'll have our team reach out if you have anything that we need to get out to the community.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you. Have a good evening. All right, Brother Mark, there you have it. I've learned something tonight. I still have a little room in my brain, Mark. I think I figured out I got to go see my tax attorney now. I got to make sure I put myself in the right tax bracket. I got to make sure that I get all my stuff set up because we're heading to a season, a political season. We don't know. Your taxes might double. They might increase. We don't know. They might get cut. We don't know. We just have to see what the outcome is going to be. But Brother Mark, I thought we had our other two guests. We was playing spades tonight. I guess that possible one turned into a complete flush. We lost out tonight. We got sandbagged tonight. All right, Brother Mark, but we'll get them back. We'll get them back next week. But Brother Mark, man, great information. What did you think about the presentation, the young lady? We always talk about supporting Black businesses, opportunity for our folks to grab some knowledge, get some tax knowledge. Get some real information from one of the queens of the community. How you feeling about tonight, brother?
Quite honestly, I think this conversation was probably one of the more timely ones that needed to be had. Particularly, our community has always kind of been at the bottom, but everybody right now in America is in a de facto economic war. There is a war on the wealth of us as people. Our community is always hit the hardest, of course. So people like you and myself and all the hardworking people out there in the community, if you don't make every opportunity to protect the money you work for, whether it's the government, whether it's inflation, whether it's just poor purchasing habits, there is always something eating away at your hard-earned money. And that's what you're going to need to sustain yourself, your family, and your future. So I think we were blessed with a conscious interrupt to really reevaluate our tax strategies when it comes to handling our money. So a fantastic hidden gem for the community tonight, Bishop.
Man, it's been great. I mean, it's been great for me. I'm just excited here. You know, my blood pressure been elevated. I think I elevated tonight. Keisha was trying to work that femininity out of me, right? She tried to work all of this stuff. She was trying to pull it out. They try to get me excited, okay? I got to keep my blood pressure down, even with my benedictions. I got to calm down a little bit, okay? I got to be here. There's a lot going on. But you know me, Brother Mark, I will always be consistent. We always have to do the things we do, and we will always blow up the spot. We will blow up the spot. And when the ladies start coming from me, there will be shots fired, okay, ladies? There will be shots fired. We will get in there. We will be having a relationship conversation because I think it's about time, Mark. This dude, folks out here want to have conversations now. People want to have dialogue. So I think it's time to have dialogue. And since we are moving to twice a month, we get a little cool off period for the ladies. You know, they be attacking me for 3-4 weeks after the show, you know, so, you know, it'll be a good time, but I'm happy to be here. I know a lot of community folks who are used to seeing us on a regular basis weekly. We're not here and, you know, but we're still here. We're just not doing it every week. We're doing it once a month, depending on the setup, guests, and what we're doing as we continue to do more in the community, try to impact the community. Want to give a huge shout out to all of the amazing staff and teachers over at Cesar Chavez Elementary School who was able to go over there and support them with backpacks for some of the folks who live below the poverty line at times, needed help and support. So thank you to our sponsors, Collective Impact, Mo Magic, some of the amazing community folks that continue to support us to make sure we are doing our part to help support community. Want to thank all of our Both Sides of the Conversation team for continuing to show up, doing their things that they do to impact community. I'm getting so much feedback, Mark, from the Daily Post about reminding people about the Black businesses, and they just like, wow, John, this is great. And I'm just like, we're doing everything we can to make sure that we educate and give community information and uplift our community, keep them engaged. That's what we promise. That's our mission and vision, to continue to bring these resources and information to our community. So thanks to our back end team that continue to make sure every day our community is being impacted with information and special things of that nature. Lastly, before I give the benediction, before I let y'all go tonight, I got one more thing that I got to say. Because our platform, definitely in our groups, are growing with different folks. And I just want to take a minute, because there has been people been calling me, texting me, trying to understand the difference between our Facebook group and page. And I just want to make sure everybody understand kind of how our social media handles work, so folks are not confused. If you go to our Both Sides of the Conversation business page, we'll have a lot of our businesses, things that we support, flyers for events. It's more for corporate folks. There's not a lot of extra activity going on in there, just more for resources, information. If you are a part of our Facebook group, okay, I want to be clear to the people. Our Facebook group, the purpose of the group is to cause and have conversation and dialogue about different things. Yes, we promote in the group. We put flyers in the group. It's to open up dialogue and start conversations, okay? That's what the group is made for. It gets a little hot and sticky at times. Again, I know a couple of folks reached out to me, wanted me to kick out some Republican folks, and that's not what it's about, right? The purpose of the group for Both Sides of the Conversation is to let folks have a conversation about things that they're passionate about, things that they love. Now, we will not disrespect racial attacks, bullying, and all that stuff. If we catch it, we will remove it, or if somebody report it, we will kick them out, right? But the purpose is to have somewhat of a place of freedom of speech, to have both sides of the conversations. It's a lot of relationship stuff. Folks like that stuff. They like to comment and debate. But again, we're trying to keep our group active. But there's all types of information and things that you could connect. And I always tell folks, if you're not seeing what you want, just keep scrolling. There's things for our religious folks. There's stuff for our community folks. There's stuff for businesses. There's stuff for social stuff, relationship stuff. It's all, comedy stuff. It's all type of genre in there for folks to be attentive to. So I just wanted to make that clear to folks. Our Instagram, our Twitter, and all of that is just used to post events and what's going on, things that we're doing to impact community. But our Facebook group is the only one that's really where folks are in there having conversation, posting memes, doing different things, and we allow that conversation to happen. Now, we don't allow bullying and harassment and things of that nature, but it's a place where you can have conversations. So don't get offended if you get in the group. If you're trying to do some business with us or you want to connect with us to come to an event, go to our Facebook page, go to our Instagram, go to one of our other areas of social media to connect with us, go to our website, and you'll find out definitely what everything is all about, or you could go to our website and grab information on there. There's a lot of changes happening, as I told you all, as we're coming into this end of this year, a lot of organizational changes. We're trying to readapt. You guys have to remember, when Both Sides of the Conversation was started, it was started during the pandemic. Now folks are back out. We're trying to reposition and pivot ourselves to be able to be impactful as the times change. We will still keep the platform, and we'll talk about increasing the platform. There's a survey that's going out. We're putting out surveys. We want folks to go and click on these surveys and give us feedback. We're always looking to enhance the platform. We always looking to enhance the organization, the way we serve and impact community. Again, we are here to uplift the Black and brown communities. We serve our Black folks first, because I am Black, and I believe that we have to have a level of our consciousness and what we need to do. But I support all people. But definitely I highlight the stuff that we have to do in our community. I support my Latin community. I support my Asian community. I support my Samoan community, Pacific. I support all the community. But again, this is an open platform for folks to help bring information and awareness to the community. So I just wanted to put that out there so folks understand the difference between our Facebook page and groups. I got a lot of text messages and questions about it. They didn't understand. And I just want to make sure that folks understand when you're utilizing our different social media handles, what you're seeing and what's going on, so you have understanding of what's going on. So with that being said, it's been a while, Brother Mark. I don't know if I can do a benediction today. I've been waiting. I got to wet my whistle because it's been a while. And you got to cut me off, Mark. If you see me elevated, if you see me get a little too excited. My blood pressure is elevated. I don't want to get committed to the emergency room tonight. Okay, so I gotta stay calm.
Let the spirit use you, Bishop.
I'm gonna give it to the people. All right, y'all been waiting patiently. Time to get out of here. Okay, community. Oh, look, I'm already getting inside community. Okay, community. Tonight, you've been blessed. Tonight, you've been blessed. I don't know if you appreciate it, but tonight, you've been blessed. You received some information very important to your financial future. Taxes is a big part of our financial future. Taxes is a big part of our day-to-day financial needs. If we, as a community, don't find a way to learn, to advance our understanding when it comes to taxes, when it comes to financial literacy, we will not be able to maneuver with the rest of the people. There is a statistic out there. There is a conversation that is happening that in 2053, the Black wealth, I don't believe it, but they say the Black wealth. The reason why I don't believe it, because I believe sisters like Keisha who come here tonight to give us the information, somebody out there who's going through the financial challenge or maybe the financial struggle or the reality of their finances is going to stop and say, hey, I got to do something to correct this. I have to step in place. I have to put a preventive measure. I have to be intentional with my spending so that I can have the longevity, so that I can leave a legacy, so that I can build generational wealth. I think that's all that we want to do when we're working, when we're giving back. We're trying to leave something. It's a financial system that we are a part of. It is a class system. It is a capitalistic system. I don't know. You have to find a way to maneuver. We have to think like the wealthy. We have to think like those who are intentional. We have to think like the people who are preventing the loss of their financial future. We must do this, community. We must break down the taboo. We must break down the stigma of finances. We must have the conversation. Husbands and wives, single mothers, we must sit down. Create a budget. We must look at where's our money going. It is getting hard. It is getting tight. The money is not circulating right. We have to do our part. Tonight, you got some information. You got some gems. It only takes a little bit to get a lot. We have to do more. We must teach our young people, younger and younger, the importance of the dollar. We must teach them the importance of our assets. We must be the demonstrators. I say to be a leader, you must demonstrate what's possible. Community, I need you tonight to demonstrate what's possible. When it comes to our finances, be intentional. Take the time. Seek the professional help. Do the things that you need to do to build that wealth. Without money, a lot of things can happen, but without money, there's a part of life that we won't like. When it comes to life insurance, when it comes to estate planning, we must make this our number one priority. We can no longer live off GoFundMe, fish fries, chicken fries to bury our loved ones. We must be intentional. We must do the right things to set them up to have success when they're no longer living. We all have an appointment that we can't cancel. One day we're going to get called home. Please make sure you go out and get some insurance. Protect yourself, protect your children. So when that day comes, you leave a legacy and leave wealth for them to build off. With that being said, that is it from the bishop on the benediction. It's been real. I'm back. I'm back in a lot of ways. It's been a roller coaster ride. It's been ups. It's been downs. I will continue to push forward our community. I will continue to uplift the people. I will continue to be the bright, shining light. I will be the hope for the hopeless. I will be. I don't know where it's going. I will be. I don't know. I just want to say thank you all for continuing to support our organization, supporting all of the folks that continue to do the work. There is a lot of phenomenal things happening in our community, and there's a lot of things that's not so phenomenal. But together, we can move forward, continue to move the needle. Like Mark say all the time, community, we must get on code together. We must get on code together about our finances. We must get on code together about our relationships. We must get on code together how we lift each other in solidarity. We have dark days coming. Please, you do your part to work together in solidarity so you could be the light, the very light that our community needs to shine. With that being said, hey, the month of September, we'll be opening up our Sunday conversation. We'll see you guys September 5th for our next show. You'll see me out in the community moving around. You'll see both sides of the conversation on social media. Support us. Support us and uplift so we can continue to do what we do to impact you. Thank you all for tuning in. If you haven't tuned in a while, if you first time viewer, go back to our YouTube channel, see some of our previous shows, see some of the work we've done to impact community in these 4 years. We just celebrated our 4th year birthday. So we want to thank all of the folks who continue to subscribe to our newsletter, support us in the different various ways. We are here to serve you. We are a community organization for the people. We will change the narrative. Thank you all for tuning in. Hey, Short Hidden Gym Show. Back to y'all lives. Back to the things you do. I don't know. We got to blow up this spot, Mark. We got to get out of here. Good night now, good people.